Good Vach, everyone. Just so today it'll be very nice if I can see your faces because it is easier to speak to faces than to speak to black squares. So thank you. All right, so here we go. The last Shabbos of the year, Bezat Hashem, before Shoshana, Atem Nitzavim, Tzavim Vayelech. So this particular Maisa was told differently in one of Rabbi Nachman's stories. And so I don't know if this particular story is obviously the one of Rabbi Nachman is the original, but I don't know if this is something that was told after or was whatever it is. It's a beautiful, beautiful story, and it's a great story. B'Shem Baal Shem Tov, to tell Bezat Hashem, especially the last Shabbos of the year. Bezat Hashem will be a siman tov, a mazel tov for all of us. And so happened at one time, a very poor person that was saddled with a lot of suffering came to Baal Shem HaKodesh and asked him for a Yeshua, for salvation. The Baal Shem HaKodesh told him to go under a specific bridge, and there his request will be fulfilled. He'll find treasures of gold and silver. So this poor person went there. Baal Shem Tov says so, then this is so. So he went there and he looked and he looked and he looked and he couldn't find anything. As he was doing this, a poor tailor. Rabbi Nachman's story is the soldiers that were guarding the bridge. But here's a poor tailor came and says, "What are you looking for?" So he told him, Baal Shem Tov told him that under this bridge there is a treasure, and he went to find it, and he couldn't find anything. So this poor tailor was stunned. He said, the Baal Shem Tov also ordered me to go to a specific place, to a specific house of a poor person, and there under his fire, his fireplace, I will find a treasure, and I'm afraid to go there when I'm going to sneak into somebody's house. So the poor man was stunned. Also, he knew that it was his house. The Baal Shem HaKodesh told the tailor to go to his house. So he decided, something, I'm going to go home. I'm going to look at the fireplace. Maybe I'll find. And that's what happened. He went to his house. He dug under his fireplace and he found the treasure. Now, the poor tailor was thinking to himself, listen, I'm already here under the bridge. I might as well just, just look, search. What I got to lose? And he dug, and he found the treasure. And this way, how each one of the poor people imagined to himself, this is where the Maisa veers off from the original told by Rabbi Nachman. Each one of them figured that it was his friend that made it possible for him to find the treasure. And each one of them has actually said, how will it ever be possible for me to, enjoy this wealth while my friend, my fellow Jew, through whom I got the treasure, is writhing under the clutches of poverty. So each one decided that he will take a bundle of the treasure and take it over to his friend and give it to him. And that's what they did. Along the way, they met each other. Each one is holding a bundle in his hand. And there's gold and silver in the bundle. And they told each other the story, what happened. And they didn't know, what are we going to do? What are we going to do with these bundles now? This is, obviously, this is not a simple thing. What are we supposed to learn from this? We decided, one of them had a boy and the other one had a girl. They'll make a shidduch. They will marry off their children with one another, and the money that they wanted to give one another will be given, B'ezrat Hashem, to the children. The Rav HaKodesh from Kaminke said this particular Maisa is Mesuga Leparnasa, and to tell this Maisa on Melava Malcolm, what's a Shabbos, and said, and don't tell any other stories after this one, but bench immediately. And he said that sometimes it is not possible that, he says that every single person has a great salvation ready and available to him, but he's not able to achieve it unless one person helps another. B'ezrat Hashem, this is how Hashem, B'ezrat Hashem, will help us all, B'ezrat Hashem, this year to get a great amount of Yeshua, Parnasa, Zivugim, all the tremendous things, and love and sharing with one another. Before we get to the Maisa of Rabbeinu, just going to take a quick look here. We looked in Likutei Eitzes, Likutei Alochos. Reb Nosson speaks the first halacha of Rosh Hashanah. Reb Nosson wrote ostensibly the greatest Chassidus Chidushin on the Shulchan Aruch. And the way that he did it is he went through the Shulchan Aruch from beginning to end. And first he wrote halacha of waking up in the morning. And then, and so forth, until it went all the way throughout Shulchan Aruch. And on each halacha he wrote Chidush Chasidus, why this particular halacha is the way it is, according to various Torahs in the Likutei Haran. And when he finished, one cycle of Shulchan Aruch, he went again and he did a second cycle. So if you have Ilchas Hashkomas Hashachar, waking up in the morning, so you have Halacha Aleph, you have Halacha Beis. Halacha Beis means that's a second cycle. You have halacha gimel that he finished the second, and he went through the third time. Then you had halacha daled, which is the fourth time. You have halacha hey, which is the fifth time. And up to a certain point, there's also halacha vav that he managed to finish before it was actually mistalik from this world. Now, being that there is a long time, between one cycle and the other, you can see the development of the Likutei Halachos, how he changed throughout the years. All halacha aleph, the first halacha that he wrote, the only way to describe it is basically notes of a prodigy, a genius that writes to himself, just ideas, putting it together. They're very, very short, like page and a half. And they're so fisted, they're so opaque, that they are by far the most difficult halachas to comprehend. As the cycle progressed, the narrative, the drush, became longer and longer until you have certain halachas. For instance, the fifth cycle is 100 simonim long. Some halachas are basically Sfarim all their own, with a lot of inyanim covered. But in these latter halachas, he is speaking almost like it's no longer this young genius, but it's like a kind grandfather that has a grandson on his knees and is explaining it to him. And it goes through with ease and great depth, and slow water, like the Mississippi. It's like just goes through, and you just sail through the tremendous ramifications of the halacha. Me and a friend, we went through halacha aleph Rosh Hashanah. We did it just a few days. The halacha is very short. He has 4 sections, 4 paragraphs. It's a page and a half. We were able to sort of find things that we can relate to in the first paragraph and in the second section. By the time we got to the third section, we got stuck. It was just almost abstract. We couldn't get anything out of it. It's not wherever we got out of it, before. It's also whatever it is that we can get out of it. It wasn't, but nevertheless, but the third one we were stumped. We didn't even get to the fourth one. B'ezrat Hashem, in Uman, Rosh Hashanah, B'ezrat Hashem, we'll be able to continue. Reb Nosson speaks about the shofar. Every halacha, as I told you, is predicated on a Torah and Likutei Haran, and this particular one is based on the very famous Torah 9 and Torah 112. They're basically the same Torah with different emphasis. And the main nekuda, the Rabbeinu speaks there, and Reb Nosson writes it out. Every single halacha that he starts, there's a little synopsis of the Torah, which has to do with the halacha, with the chidushim that he was mechadesh. And the basic thing that he says over there, Rabbeinu says, a person can find himself as he strays away from doing what he needs to do, doing a little this, a little that way. And as you get further and further, a person gets entangled and finds himself in the darkness. One wrong decision opens up a brand new horizon. It's a fake horizon. It's a horizon that is already tinted. It's tainted by the bad decision. But then that becomes your normal. Being you already have the experience of making a wrong decision and the world didn't fall apart. So it's okay, I'll make another one. And it changes you even more. And before you know it, you are locked in and you're a prisoner of your own reality and you have no idea how did you get there? How on earth are you going to get out? It's like a person who gets a credit card from the bank and he keeps on buying things on credit. And when you buy things with a credit card, it doesn't hurt. If you have $100 bill in your pocket, you go to a store, you take out the $100 bill and you buy something, you know that $100 bill ain't coming back. It hurts. But buying thing with plastic doesn't hurt. So people keep on, okay, it's just a little this, just that, just $10. What's it, $10? And before you know it, there are 500,000 shekels in the bank and they can't get out of it. Then start Hotzah Lapol, then starts, bankruptcy, the whole shebang. There's no way to get out. Because I did a little bit something wrong, until I was captured in the darkness. The Rebbeinu says the way to get out of it is by speaking the truth. Speak the truth. The way to get out, the way to get out of a financial quagmire is by being truthful. You go to an expert and say, listen, this is where I am. That's my situation. So the expert says, okay, is this a problem of lack of money or this is a problem of conduct? In other words, you have bad habits. And if you go to the expert and you lie to him, I'm a victim of circumstance. I don't know, whatever. Okay, you'll never get out of it. But if you're being truthful, the person can give you an answer. The emes, they said truth will set you free, literally. But over here, a person can find himself in a problem that he can't get out of it. The only way to get out is by speaking the truth, because truth is Hashem. That's the seal for Kadosh Baruch Hu. And when you speak the truth, HaKadosh Baruch Hu is with you. When HaKadosh Baruch Hu is with you, he lights up your reality for you. When HaKadosh Baruch Hu lights up your reality, you can see what is the way to get out of the problem. As I said, according to this mashal I just gave, when a person is stuck in this minus in the bank that he can't possibly do anything, if he goes to an expert and he's being honest with him, and the expert is a real man as well, a real person, he can give him answers how to get out of the quagmire that person himself could not see. How much more so spiritually, when you find yourself in a situation where you keep on stepping into the same mud that you always did, and here you go again. And you're chasing your tail. You're basically a prisoner of your own device. So Rebbeinu says the thing to do is to be honest. Just be honest. Say the truth. Tell HaKadosh Baruch Hu the truth. Ask HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Rebbeinu Shalom, save me. I have no enthusiasm. I'm all. If anybody had asked me to save him with such a blasé kind of manner, I would say, something, here's a shekel. Thank you, goodbye. But I can't scream. I'm not there. Maybe my emunah is not where it's supposed to be. My bitoch is not supposed. It doesn't matter what the reason is. I'm not there. But I know that I need a Yeshua. So Rabbeinu says, just call out to Kadosh Baruch Hu as dull and as unenthusiastic as you are. Just say, please, Ibn Shalom, help me. Just help me. And that will show you. And he talks, Rav Nosson takes this into Ilchos Shofar. And he explains how Shofar itself signifies the Teshuvah. The word Shofar by himself is from the Sheresh of Shapru Ma'aseichem, better your deeds, make your deeds better, that's enough Teshuvah, and so forth and so on. Shofar, always Teshuvah starts from where you are in a very narrow place, and Mina Metzakaratika, Anani B'merchavka, Kadosh Baruch Hu answers me with archava, with a widening of the Yeshua. And he talks about this Indian that the Tkiyas Shofar, there is Pshuta Lefanea. The main Tkiya is the Trua. That's the middle one. But you have a Tkiya before and Tkiya after. Now, Chazal are not certain is the Trua is supposed to be like a person signed, like or a Yeluli Kimiyalol, a Yelolo, like a person wailing. So as you know, we do both. Once we do it with this, once we do it with this, and once we do it with both of them together. But Hakol Moedim that before the Trua, which is the Teshuvah, and after the Trua, which is the Teshuvah, is Pshuta Lefanea and Pshuta Achareh. And also says, what is the Pshuta Lefanea, Pshuta Achareh? It says Pshuta Lefanea is before the Kilkul, before you batched it up. And Pshuta Achareh is after you made Teshuvah. What does it mean? It means that if you are coming to do Teshuvah, before you do the Teshuvah and after you do the Teshuvah, you are normal. You are good. Real Teshuvah is with everything you got, yes. But it is not something that is constant. I can't believe how bad I am. I can't believe I'm like so not good. I don't amount to a hill of beans. I was always bad. I've always been bad. I always be bad, and finish. This is not Teshuvah. This is insanity. This is depression. This is a manic state. This is not Teshuvah. Teshuvah has to be a certain time. It has to flow from the fact that basically, oh Hashem, basically, you're all right. I'm not saying that you're Rav Yosef. I'm not saying that you're Chaim Kanevsky. I'm not saying that you are, the Lubavitch Rebbe. I'm not saying that you are. I'm not saying any of these things. You are Baruch Hashem, but you are who you are. Baruch Hashem. The main Torah that we learn now is Azamra, is Nekuda Tova. Nekuda Tova is Baruch Hashem. Yeshem Shabbos. Baruch Hashem. You made Kiddush. Baruch Hashem. You either made or heard of Dala. Baruch Hashem. You daven. Baruch Hashem. You put on film. Baruch Hashem. You eat kosher. You are good. This is the basic state from which, if you're being serious, if you're not kidding yourself, you're looking into really where you are. You're taking yourself an hour a day, or as much as you can, and you call out to Kodesh Baruch Hu, and then you really let it rip. Really, from the bottom of Yamin, Ribono Shel Olam, I can't breathe. Can't believe I did what I did. I don't know what's going to happen with me. I can't move. When you're done with that, you're going back to being normal. That is were we able to get out of the first paragraph of this halacha. The second one, we're able to get out, you see, Ibn Nosson says that, in Shofar, there's a halacha that you can turn it inside out. You can make the wide side small and the small side wide, because shofar, it's malleable. If you put it in boiling water, you can fiddle around with that. And you can turn it inside out. The outside will be in, inside will be out. So he brings he says, don't wait until the next Gilgul, the next condition to do Teshuvah. And so the Teshuvah needs to be in this body. Comes and goes, wait, has any of us ever said, oh, something, I won't do Teshuvah in this Gilgul, I'll wait to the next one. I won't take this train, take that. Nobody thinks like that. So what is he trying to tell us? At least that's the way that we looked at it. And the answer is that, as far as we were able to understand, to do Teshuvah means to look at my shortcomings. To look at my shortcomings means I have to agree to their presence. Meaning, I can't believe that I'm having problems with doing, looking at things, or thinking about things I shouldn't, or doing things I shouldn't do. And I see that, for instance, I don't know, a person is like, he has a problem that he himself is a lazy bum. And he knows it. So yeah, a large part of his life is saying, this, I can't believe it. He was trying to manipulate other people to help him to do it, whatever it is. But at a certain point in time, it's just standing right up to your face. I'm not taking care of business. I'm trying to get away with murder with every single step I take. And a person, let's say, maybe that is the problem. The person is, into all kinds of stuff, whatever it is that the person does. The automatic beginning would be the person says, I can't believe. How can I not do what other people are doing with half their brains tying behind their back just to make it fair? And I can do it no matter what. Every dummy can do it with his eyes closed. And I cannot get to do it. And if I do it, if I keep myself from doing things I shouldn't be doing, and I do it for a day, I have to pay back being extra bad for another 3 days, another 4 days. Just like, I can't believe I dared being good for a day. The only way, if you want to do Teshuvah, is to accept. Comes the question, was I any different ever? I'm not talking now, I'm talking about 10 years, 15 years, whatever it was, when I was a kid. Was I any different? No. I was exactly the same thing. Only small, only young, but exactly the same guy. So maybe that's the way it's supposed to be. How can this be the way it's supposed to be? That's not the way to behave. That's not the way the normal people are. Whatever it is. Okay. I agree. But maybe this is who I should be. That's the page of Gemara they gave me to prepare for the test. In this life, you're going to be like this. You're going to be a bum. You're going to ride on everybody else's coattails. You're going to be eating from the fruit of the land. You're going to manipulate everybody to doing whatever that you want. And you'll be totally rejected, totally humiliated, whatever it is. But that's who you need to be. Because it's who your neshama needs you to be. It doesn't mean that you have to behave that way. You're supposed to be stadless, should daven for it. But who you actually are, that's who you're supposed to be. Some people has the talent of playing the violin. Some people can hit, I don't know, 1,000,000 home runs. Some people are in a wheelchair. Every person has his own specific condition Kadosh Baruch Hu gives him. And now it ties very, very well with the first paragraph. You can't go on wailing why you are the way you are. You're good. You are good just the way you are. You have tendencies. You do things that you know that you shouldn't be doing. Ask a Kadosh Baruch Hu for it. Cry to Kadosh Baruch Hu out for it. And beg a Kadosh Baruch Hu for it. And then go back to accepting who you are. Yeah, if only I was inside out. If only I didn't have that particular proclivity. If only I didn't have that kind of bad tendency. If only I didn't have that kind of addiction, whatever. It's not if only. Teshuvah is not based off an only. There's no if only. You're good. You are who you need to be. You're created who you need to be created. You need to work with that. There are certain things that you'll never fix. You do what you can. If there's no pshuta lefanea, pshuta achareya, that's not teshuvah. That's, screaming Kadosh Baruch Hu, how could you do this? How could you do this mistake for me? How could everybody be normal only when I was created, Kadosh Baruch Hu was out to lunch? I'm exactly who I need to be. Exactly. Let's take a quick look. Aloha. Let's do a little bit, just a second. I will share screen. Moment. I skipped over a couple of Sichos. Hashem, those Sichos will get back to Mitzvah Shem as we're getting closer to Rabbeinu's Yortzeit on Chol HaMoed Sukkos in Shem. And he says there is nobody can understand in the Sefer Likutei Moharan Kim shechol lama kol Torah v'Torah panim v'achar. There's no way to understand any single Torah Likutei Moharan unless you're able to tell it from the beginning to end, from the end to the beginning. So you can understand how the whole thing is actually, because how the whole thing is actually one thing. When we learn in Likutei Moharan, it is easier to understand what the Sicha is saying. And he says, Kol HaTorah sheli u'kula akdomis. The entire Torah that I have is the basic principles through which you can tell the entire Torah. He says, Kol Torah v'ma'amar in 201, she'omer yecholim lalech ito v'lavo b'kol HaTorah nevi'im u'ksuvim v'torah sheba'al peh. For every Torah Likutei Moharan you can understand, you can go through all the Torah, all the Nevi'im, all the Ksuvim, all the Gemara, all the Shulchan Aruch. Basically, the main thing that is said over here is there's a major difference between the Likutei Moharan and any other sefer. Kulam Kedoshim, Kulam Neiroim, they're all chas v'chalila, not to diminish the greatness, the kedusha, the value of any other sefer, chas v'chalila. The difference between Likutei Haran and any other sefer, I mean, Tikkun Zohar is somewhat kind of that type of thing, is that Likutei Haran does not show you things. For instance, the Baal Tanya. I don't know any sefer or any Hasidus or any kind of thing that is more pleasurable and deeply, deeply satisfying and enjoyable in Kodesh Kodeshim to learn like Hasidus Chabad. It's amazing, amazing, amazing. The Baal Tanya had such a lashon, such a language, and the way to say things that when you read, you see it with your own eyes. You see it with your own eyes. Stunning stuff, amazing stuff. Kodesh Kodeshim. The Likutei Haran doesn't show you. It gives you eyes. It gives you a way to see everything in a totally different way. Each Torah is a totally different point of view from which to see the entire Torah. That means my Torah is all akdamas. That means that you can go with every single Torah Likutei Haran throughout the Torah. That's why Reb Nosson wrote all Likutei Halachas based on a specific Torah. Each halacha is based on a specific, from the view, from the eyes given. We have learned Hilchos Shofar, Hilchos Teshuvah, Hilchos Shoshana from the eyes that were given through Torah Tes and Torah Kufiyud base. About if you're in the darkness, the truth will get you out. Sometimes it's kind of truth that only, that you can shine to others. Sometimes you're just honest enough to hear from somebody else. This is what the Torah is. And from that point of view, take a look at what Teshuvah is. Take a look at what Shofar is. And the thing is that Al Pi Kabbalah, that's the way things are. So here we are, the first night of Sichos. We are on the runway, Bezrat Hashem. We're on the runway to Rosh Hashanah. I wish we could have more shiurim before I leave to speak about Rosh Hashanah, a little more about Rosh Hashanah. We'll see, maybe we can do something and go to Uman on Wednesday or Thursday night. Maybe we can do something, I don't know, maybe Wednesday night, if I'm in one piece still. And I have the service of the Wi-Fi over there, so we can maybe give a share and talk a little bit more about Rosh Hashanah. But I definitely want to tell you first of all, I want to wish each and every one of you a good gebench to each and every one of you. The biggest secret that I can tell you is that you can call out to HaKadosh Baruch Hu from anywhere. You can call out HaKadosh Baruch Hu even if you can't talk. You can call out HaKadosh Baruch Hu even if you don't want to talk. HaKadosh Baruch Hu is available to you and is listening to you. Even if the only thing that you can do is just be silent, shtika, in your lips and in your thoughts and in your feelings. That it's also tremendous, tremendous tza'aka. Kadosh Baruch Hu. Kadosh Baruch Hu is available with the koich of the tzaddikim. Kadosh Baruch Hu is available to you from anywhere. And when you start in a point that you don't even want to wake up, okay? You don't want to wake up in the morning. You don't feel like waking up, you don't want to, you don't even want to ask. But in your thought, you can be quiet and hope, Bezrat Hashem, I'll be able to want to get up, because Baruch will help you one step further because you're being truthful. Then you'll be able to ask God, well, please help me get up. And you'll be able to get up. Help me get dressed. Help me go to shul. Help me to do any single thing that I know I should, but I can't even want to. This is what the koyach of the tzaddik can give you. Ki lo yidach v'meno nidach. Bezrat Hashem should all have, again, you can all, unmute yourself if you want, so we can hear from you. ולכם בעזרת השם שנה טובה, קטיעה וחתימה טובה, והרבה נחת, שנה של ישועות, שנה של רק טוב. עומר, שמואל, אבומי, חיים לב.
שנה טובה הרב, בשורות טובות, תודה על הכל.
גם לכם, גם לכם. כל טוב, הרבה ישועות.
אמן, אמן.
הרבה ישועות.
כל טוב. Thank you, Rav.
כל טוב, כל טוב. רב שמואל. Do you know Reb Shmuel? You don't know Reb Shmuel. כוכב נולד. שמואל רובין. איפה אתה?
שכוח רבנו. שבוע טוב.
שנה טובה, כל טוב.
שנה טובה, מקווה שנספיק השבוע לתאם מועד שטוב
אולי נוכל לעשות משהו. אני ביום שני נוסע לאומן.
אז מצוין, אז אם כבר אנחנו צריכים כבר מחר בבוקר לתאם, אם אין לך זמן.
תברך.
שאפשר לעשות.
אם אין לך זמן.
או יחיוד שכוח.